Just when you thought there wasn't going to be a video today, there I am, in your sub box. Who knew? Unless I'm not. Thanks YouTube. Never said this before, viewers, but if you hit the little notification thing, you'll have seen other YouTubers say it. That means you'll actually get my videos, whereas sometimes you won't. It's a great system, YouTube. It really is. Run the intro. Let's have a transfer roundup. Gang, welcome back to an episode of Boston Boys with the Boston Boy, Dr. Beachy FM. It's a lazy Sunday. I've got the dressing gown on. That's how lazy today's Sunday is. But it's a pleasure to be in front of your faces. I hope you've had a good weekend. And let's talk through then the new squad. Before we do that, of course, if you didn't see the last couple of episodes, this is going to be quite spoiler heavy. The temptation there to drop a legitimate spoiler on a something. So yes, we are now in League 2. It should be quite exciting. There's a fear with this, and I guess we'll do it in reverse order. This is the prediction for League 2. Us to finish 4th after just getting promoted. Don't like the look of that at all. Don't think it's in any way accurate, and I'm a little bit terrified of it. It means we've leapfrogged all these sides that have been consistently in the division. Carlisle, who finished above us in the league last year, are predicted 23rd. So that's more concerning for me, if anything. So you're probably thinking, oh Ben, you must have made some stellar acquisitions. Well, there's one or two, as well as one major out. So let's talk about the players that have released on free transfers there. And there's a few names there that you certainly will recognise. There's one or two that you certainly will. Jordan Slew's left. I mean, we might as well touch on it. I mean, at this point, we are beyond his level, young Jordan. I say young Jordan, he's 29 now. So yeah, he's been left behind. Matthew Smith, of course, who had some really good years with us, has left as well. I say really good years, that one good year that we thought he was brilliant. Niall Brockwell, another player that was decent for us. A little bit disappointed with that one. I would have liked him to stay, but he didn't get a lot of football last year. Pozzo came in and sort of held down that spot, so it meant Niall Brockwell didn't really get too much opportunity and has gone off to Oldham instead. Adam Phillips has left the club. Adam Buxton, George Green, of course, who we signed to basically sabotage Chester one season. It worked pretty well. Didn't feature for me at all last year, so he's left as well. And that means then we've brought some in. Oh, first of all, the major outs. Oh, goodness me. So Harvey Neville, we already know about this one. Off to Kilmarnock. He's gone. Yeah, fine, mate. Go. If you don't want to be part of the project, get out. Get out now. The other one, though, 120,000. George Penny has gone to Sunderland, which I think is quite interesting. Premier League side, Sunderland. So I don't know if he's going to be featuring all too often in their starting 11. 19 years of age, the young Englishman. Of course, we got one free from Liverpool. And, yeah, 120k. You might think, Ben, you've probably not really got the money there that you would have hoped for. Yeah, there was a release fee in his contract, and I just forgot. And then there he goes. So I can't be annoyed. It's my own fault. My own inadequacies have shown that they're very prevalent once again this year. So George Penny, off he goes for a pretty penny. So I mean, it's still good money. And let's focus then on some of the ins. Our first game of the season is going to be tomorrow's Monday episode, just in case anyone is a tad confused. You can see there then a number of names brought in, 8 names. I did sort of preview that we were going to do a little live stream over the transfer window, but it didn't really ever get to a point where I thought, yeah, let's do that. Because really, what I discovered was our squad actually was in pretty good shape. And yeah, some of the acquisitions will be starters, some of which squad players. Let's run through it then and start things off with Mr. Rob France. Just a great name, Rob French or Bob French if you want, whatever you prefer. But yeah, Rob France, good right back option. I don't know if he's going to be the starter or the backup to Eric Ligue, who's also come in, a name that you may well actually be familiar with. But it's been released from Arsenal. We signed him at the very back end of last season. It wasn't as if we've signed him and just forgot about him for a year. Yeah, again, we've gone to Arsenal, much like Alabiusu, and got him in. You can see marking and tackling both very good. Decent first touch. Mental's pretty good too. Physically, not too bad. And as I say, as a decent backup option or potentially a starter as the season goes on, yeah, I think we've got ourselves a decent player there. Good potential on him, according to our coaches, who can't be trusted because they're a bit inadequate. But regardless, let's move on, viewers. Let's not be too downhearted about it. Eric Ligue from Rotherham. Quite a few loans have joined us, and this is the most experienced of them all. 18 caps for America. Eric Ligue joins. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I'm pretty confident I am, but I know the comments of these videos. Yeah, 33 years of age, has played at the highest level in the Premier League in the past. Had some successful years in the Championship with Nottingham Forest, and then moved to Hull in this save. Was a free to Rotherham, who have then let him go, and we've got him on loan for the entire season. As I say, really good right back option. Got a very good long throw on him as well. We may well put use to that at some point. Physically, not what he once was, but at 33, great experience, great mental attributes, and welcome Eric Ligue into the squad. Welcome aboard, my friend. I don't know why that had a musical element to it. It sounds a little bit like we should sing the rest of this video, but we won't, because it's going to be really difficult. And now we're just speaking in with a nice tone to it. It's not singing. As an expert of singing, viewers, I would know. All right, moving down the list. Rob Hall from Rotherham. Again, another loanee from them. 2 players taken. And of course, we've lost George Penny, so a replacement on that left side was needed. Rob Hall isn't even the first choice, viewers. Oh, yeah, that's right. But you can see a very good left-sided player who can also play on the right-hand side as well. Relatively good left-footed, so cutting in from that right may well be used at some point this season. But yeah, it's mainly going to be played on the left-hand side if we have an injury to another name that we'll look at in just a moment. But you can see some really good attributes, definitely for this level of football as well. 3-star current ability. I love a standard sort of 3-star player. I really like that. £1 million is his value at Rotherham. You can see has been at Oxford in recent times. Knows these sort of divisions pretty well. League One, he played a lot last year, so to get him here in League Two might be a little bit of a coup for us. Good crossing, dribbling's really good too, and pacey out on that left side. I think again a decent player. But let's look at the man then, who I think will probably play as the starter, and it's Desi Kasinga Madea. Now I should be able to get that out every time it comes up, but don't bet on it, viewers. Of course, we play with inside forwards in attacking roles, and this man is going to be just that. DKM, if you like, or Kasinga Madea. It's that one's quite easy to say for me. You can see though, just by looking at his attributes, very, very quick on that left-hand side, 6'1" as well, nice size about him, lovely technique, great work rate, little bit of flair, great composure, crossing and dribbling there for all to see too, and should absolutely, in theory, tear up this division. On loan from Newcastle United, had an okay spell at Inverness last season. He's been at Forest Green before that, but I think really suits the way we play, style and system-wise. I think we've got ourselves a bit of a player here, and I expect him to have a really, really good season on the left-hand side. There's a Kasinga Madea. Oh no! Oh, I was so confident I've cocked it. Never mind. Whatever. Yeah, I think he'll be really good on that left-hand side. Let's focus then at the back once again. Steve Seddon as a back-up left-back. Really good attributes though. Really solid. I think another good acquisition to the team. I don't think he'll start because I've just got this thing with Cantrell where I just like him and he likes me. Currently got a bit of an injury as well. We've signed him with the injury from Dundee, but I think he'll be fine. We've got a lot of loan players, viewers, this season. There's 2 on this. There's 2 that aren't even on this list that we had last year that we'll talk about in just a moment. And let's move on to another name, shall we? Jamie Stevens. We're going all over the shop here. I had a trial day. He was the best player at the trial match, so I thought, yeah. That's the story behind Jamie Stevens, viewers. Let's just move on quickly. Connor Kirby, central midfielder. Yes, viewers, this is what we like to see. Contracted to Boston, so a signed player at long last. Physically fantastic, some really good technical and mental attributes. We picked him up from Sheffield Wednesday on a free. If you're a Sheffield Wednesday fan, I'm pretty sure you'll know his name. Yeah, should be a really good player in our side. Hopefully here for a couple of seasons at least. And yeah, we'll see how we fare with him. I just like lots about him. Leadership, I think, is a big thing for me in this side. Don't have too many leaders, but at 23 already to be a leader, I think is really, really positive. So Connor Kirby, welcome to the team. And finally, let's wrap things up by talking about Ben Beachy from Swansea, who is basically a pacey hitman, very similar to Marky Fletcher. What's that? Any excuse for us? I missed that. Well, yeah, Marky Fletcher. The important thing to know with that song is if you miss the first one by just not concentrating, there's a second go around the corner, so it's not too bad. But yeah, Ben Beachy, welcome to the team. I did mention then 2 other loanees are here that were here last season. Collin Thompson is one of those, currently out with a little bruised thigh though, but yeah, had a really good year for me last year. I expect him to do the same again this season. Funny actually, the 2 players we've got back were players that we had for half the season. Collin Thompson came in as a backup, then I started him and realised, oh, well, you're actually really good. And the same thing happened with Ossie Robinson as well, who also got a bit of a knock, so probably won't feature in our first match. But yeah, we've got him again from Birmingham. It does mean, and that, I mean, it's quite kind of obvious, there's quite a lot of loan players in this side now, but I don't think that's the worst thing. I think the most pleasing thing, viewers, if you look at the rest of the side, is how many familiar faces there are going from last year to this year. Callum Burton with us again, Aaron Akuma, we've got Lewis Gibbons at the back, George Cantrell, Ike Pozzo, Jermaine Anderson here again, Marky Fletcher, of course. Yep, we get it. Harvey Wright, Callum Gribbin, Charlie Oliver, Chris Lawrence, The Fire, Alabusi's still here as well, James Sayer and Matty Gillam. Like, there's still lots of players that were with us last year, and I think going forward, the squad's in a really good place. Like, I'm quite positive. Current ability-wise, there's a few areas that we can maybe improve, but I think going forward, again, we've got a lot of potential in this team. If you switch it from current to potential, you can just see that core we've got there. Some really, really smart players coming through our system. And at left back and right back, we've got players, again, who can still improve too. So exciting to see that a squad now is coming together as we look to assault League 2. I really don't like the fact that we're in a position where we're expected to get into the playoffs this year. Like, the board, almost expectant of it as well, I think. If you just quickly check this, if you go to our competition performance and click on League 2, you can see there, the minimum expectation is to get to the playoffs. I mean, we've just newly promoted, gang. It's like we've not had mass investment. I really don't feel like we have done. 2 million or thereabouts in the balance is pretty healthy, and we're in a strong position. But yeah, I'm not really happy with the fact the board have set really, really high aspirations. I think, for me personally, I think when you're a newly promoted side, you should try and make the most of that and use the momentum from the previous season to attack the new season. So top half, aiming for like 12th would probably be the goal in a first season. I think we're better. Like, I think the top of the Vanarama National and the bottom of League 2 is not. There's not too much difference between the two of them. So I do expect us to be at least competitive against the weaker sides, and then maybe getting some results against the better ones. I think getting 7th is going to be an almighty task, but you never know. The season progresses. When you look at some sides in here, though, if you look at the Dream 11, you can see this team in particular, although I think Oxford and Burton sort of wrap this up. This is what we're playing against. Harry Williams, like, it's a Swansea player. He's got a little bit of everything, hasn't he? I mean, that's a little bit unfair. Miles in the centre, Adam Miles, great passing ability, but actually not too much else there. That gives me a bit more confidence. But let's just take a look. I'm going to take a look through some of these. Yeah, he's not bad as well. Sadorf, that's Clarence Sadorf's son, isn't it? I mean, actually, looking at some of these players, viewers, they're not as good. I mean, why aren't we in the team of the Dream 11 thing? That's what I don't understand. But overall, as I say, I'm relatively happy. I'm not going to lie. Transfer window wise, I don't think we certainly haven't spent the most. In the AFC Wimbledon did that. They didn't do too much though, to be fair. In fact, barely any clubs spend money at this level. So the fact we've got money, it doesn't really matter. We've got $1 million transfer budget, but you saw from the transfers that we brought in, it's pretty unspectacular. We brought in 120k, but we didn't buy anyone for any sorts of money. It's worth noting, you may have seen it there, that Gail Billy Giriamani. Oh, that's different. Yeah. He's signed, but he's not here quite yet. Hopefully, we will be at some point. As in, we should get him in theory in the January. It was one of those things that I didn't realise he had a relegation release fee from Salford, and I would have tried to get him a lot earlier. And by the time I decided to get him, the transfer window had closed. So that's a problem. Of course, we've been working really outside of a transfer window for most of this series, but now we're in it. We've got to be a little bit smarter. Aidan Rodgers is a player that we've looked at a few times. We looked at him on live stream. Plays for Crusaders, which is I think it's a Northern Irish Premier Division team, but I think he should be moving to a bigger club. And by bigger club, he doesn't mean Boston. He doesn't mean Boston. It hurts me to the core. Matthew Whitaker, another striking option as well. I do think that's probably one area where we're a little bit weaker. If you do it by position, you can see that in terms of striking options, we've got Marky Fletcher, of course. Ben Beachy's been brought in. Matty Gillam is a decent-ish backup option. The other guys I probably wouldn't ever play up front, although a few of them can play it. It's not ideal. So, yeah, getting a little bit more depth in there is going to be important, but it will be another loan signing. So we've got to be a little bit wary about how many loans we've got. In fact, I should have probably checked this. I think I did check it. I don't think there's too many rules in regards to loans. Match rules, let's see. The squad must have no more than 5 loan players. Well, that's good. We live and we learn. Maybe I'm thinking about the wrong division. Maybe I looked at the rules for the wrong division. That would have been... Starting to think that's maybe what I did. Brilliant. Okay, well, I think we're set for a good season. Leave your predictions in the comment section down below. Where do you think, with a squad like this, we'll finish? What do you think of my acquisitions as well? Good, bad, or indifferent? You can see then team-wise, that's probably what we're going to play in our first game against Oldham tomorrow. Because we've done this video now as well, we get to play 2 matches at the start of the season, which isn't something I always do. But that should be quite exciting. We're playing our first game in July as well. Thank you to the Qatari World Cup, I assume, is causing this absolute mayhem. You can see from pre-season, Marky Fletcher, is on fine form with some heavy wins there, here, there and everywhere. If you enjoyed this video though, please do drop a like on it. If we can aim for sort of a modest 500 likes on a Sunday afternoon, then do so, and I'll see you again for more tomorrow at 5 PM. We love with care. From me, not to mention, until next time, we've got Northern. Goodbye, take care, look after yourselves.